Chapter 15 introduces us to domestic policy as well as economic policy. Let's start with a definition. Domestic policy consists of all laws, government planning, and government actions that concern internal issues of national importance. Policies are created in response to public problems or public demand for government action. Policymaking process consists of 5 steps. Please understand these steps for your quiz. First step, agenda setting, in which policymakers become aware of a problem that needs to be addressed by the legislature and the president. Policy formulation, where proposals are discussed between government officials and the public. Policy adoption, where a specific policy is chosen from the proposals that have been discussed. Policy implementation, which is concerned with how policies are carried out. And policy evaluation, which asks the question, is the policy working the way it's supposed to? Let's take a quick look at healthcare and the policy-making process. In the agenda-building stage, supporters of reform said healthcare spending accounts for 18% of the 18% of the U.S. economy and is growing. Played a significant role in the American economy. We had problems with the uninsured, and high costs of care. Policy formulation, a number of policy options were discussed, and finally, in the third step of the process, the policy was adopted. Addressed the issue of mandated coverage, new taxes, details of the legislation. Move to the next step, policy implementation. We saw congressional opposition. Saw some opposition in courts, opposition in the states. States set up exchanges, and people signed up for what's known as Obamacare, and the program is up and running. So the policy's now been implemented. The next step would be policy evaluation, but the Affordable Care Act evaluation is going to take years, that people are going to be looking at this policy from a number of different angles, but it will take years to really evaluate the true impact of the Affordable Care Act. Now let's move on to economics. The economy of our nation is affected by government fiscal and monetary policies which use taxes and spending to affect the overall economy. The policy of increasing spending in a time of financial instability is based on the theories of British economist John Maynard Keynes. He promoted borrowing from the U.S. Department of Treasury as a tool for government intervention during the Great Depression. Keynesian supporters believe government should take action in times of economic problem through taxing and spending policy. Keynesian economic solutions are favored by liberals. Conservatives generally favor tax cuts to stimulate the economy. Here's a look at John Maynard Keynes. The debate over taxation, much like the debate in other arenas of economic policy, remains a zone of partisan controversy. U.S. taxes account for about 25% of the gross domestic product. Individuals and corporations that pay taxes at the highest rates will try to pressure Congress into creating exemptions and tax loopholes. Loopholes allow high-income earners to reduce their taxable incomes. Find 2 different types of taxes. Your progressive tax. That's a tax that rises in percentage terms as incomes rise. The higher your income, the higher your tax rate. Regressive taxation. That's a tax that falls in percentage as income rises. Basically, people all pay the same rate in regressive taxation. Here are some examples. Federal income tax is progressive. Tax rates increase as income increases. Some other taxes, such as Social Security, state sales tax, They're regressive. State sales tax, you pay the same rate no matter how much money you make. They take a larger share of the income of poor people. Generally, conservatives favor proportional or regressive tax structures, while liberals advocate for progressive tax structures. This is your video lecture for this chapter. Please use this lecture as well as your study guide to prepare for this week's quiz. Good luck.